Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. Today we're looking at the F-117 Nighthawk, the first stealth aircraft used by the US Air Force. So very interesting. We've seen the F-22, we've seen the F-15, we've looked at the Blackbird, but now we're going to look at the Nighthawk. Let's see what this is all about. Go and check out the original video in the description. This is by US Military News. They put out some great content, so go and give them a follow as well. Make sure you like, really helps push their channel, and if you could like, subscribe and turn notifications bell on for Combat Ready HQ, I would seriously appreciate it. But we're going to get into it. Funky looking plane. All to do with stealth technology, so we'll see why that is. But yeah, let's get into it.
Meet the F-117 Nighthawk, America's original stealth plane. The F-117 Nighthawk, America's original stealth plane with a deeply sinister appearance, is an example of a weapon system designed around the limitations imposed by a promising new technology. The Nighthawk was revolutionary when it entered service in 1983.
1983.
You appreciate that, as the plane was kept secret from the public for 5 years.
I bet people in the local area must have been seeing this and thinking, what the hell is that in the sky? And there must have been some right confusing times. For 5 years they kept this a secret.
When Lockheed rolled out the first two prototypes in 1977,
wow, it's that old.
The aircraft looked like nothing that had ever been seen before or since. Later stealth designs such as the B-2 Spirit and the F-35 feature curved surfaces. However, the F-117 was designed before there were advanced computers with the calculating power to produce such curved surfaces.
So this was basically designed with a ruler, a pencil and a bit of paper and a calculator.
The F-117, alone among stealth aircraft, is distinguished by its faceted two-dimensional design.
Yeah, it's different.
The constraints this imposed meant the design was aerodynamically unstable and required sophisticated flight computers combined with quadruple redundant fly-by-wire controls to compensate and keep the aircraft in a flyable state.
Oh, really?
The Blue prototypes earned the nickname Wobbly Goblins and both crashed during the testing process.
Oh, crap.
The Air Force was nonetheless encouraged by their effectiveness at evading radar detection and gave the go-ahead to produce a production aircraft designated the F-117.
So even though they were nicknamed the Wobbly Goblins, they were seriously hard to fly, needed high-end computers, but still were tough. They still put it in for production. Okay then.
The use of a model number over 100 was an anachronism, and for years, the public assumed the top-secret stealth fighter to be designated F-19. For this reason, you can find 1980s-era F-19 model kits, toys, and even a computer game.
What, for a plane that doesn't exist?
The F-117A rolled off the production line in 1981. In all, 64 were built through 1990, including 5 YF-117 prototypes at a program cost of $111 million per plane.
So well into the billions to produce all of these. $111 million per unit.
Its handling was reportedly more forgiving than its predecessors. In addition
insane.
To reflective surfaces, the Nighthawk sported other design features now standard in stealth aircraft, including the use of radar-absorbent iron ball paint magnetically charged so as to reduce the reflection of electromagnetic waves.
That's clever.
The F-117's slit-shaped exhaust ports for its F-404 turbofan engines minimized the infrared signature of the exhaust. Communication antennas could be retracted to reduce radar signature, while its weapons, all 2 of them, were stowed in an internal bomb bay.
Okay.
The Nighthawk carried no radar because the radars of the time were easily detected. Obviously, the F-117 wasn't invisible to the eye, so it was painted black and then flown exclusively at night.
Makes sense.
Despite the F designation for fighter, the F-117 was purely a ground attack plane without any capability to engage other aircraft in combat. Its maximum speed of 623 miles per hour meant it was slightly slower than a B-52 bomber. Its range of 1,070 miles meant that it relied on aerial refueling, not always an easy thing to arrange for a stealth aircraft at night. It was the first airplane designed and built as a low observable, stable, and therefore precise platform.
Was it stable?
director of the History and Museums Program for Air Force Material Command at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, and a former F-117 maintainer. It was the marriage of the GBU-27 to the F-117 that had a laser designator in its nose that made it such a precise, deadly platform, Mail said. It was best demonstrated during Operation Desert Storm, when pilots snuck into Iraq and dropped weapons down the elevator shaft of a central communications building in Iraq.
Nice.
The Nighthawk's internal weapons bays constrained it to carrying just 2 bombs, though to make up for that, they were generally enormous, precision-guided 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs.
That's massive, okay? A 2,000-pounder. I've seen 500 and I've seen 1,000 pound go off, but a 2,000-pounder is absolutely massive. And obviously this is quite old now. You'll see, like, what is it, the F-22, very modular within the sort of ammo bay. You can fit many types of weapon systems in. This was just restricted to 2, but it's still a very advanced for its time.
Given these parameters, the Nighthawk had a very specific mission: to fly unseen into the heart of enemy air defenses and take out critical targets.
It's just designed for one thing. That's it.
War Thunder, the military online action game, has received a new major update. Feel the power of...
The first Nighthawk flew on June 18, 1981. And the original F-117A unit, the 4450th Tactical Group, renamed the 37th Tactical Fighter Wing in October 1989, achieved initial operating capability in October 1983. The Nighthawk originally saw combat during Operation Just Cause in 1989, when 2 F-117s from the 37th TFW attacked military targets in Panama.
Okay.
The aircraft was also in action during Operation Desert
Shield.
Retired Colonel Jack Forsyth remembers being excited when he initially flew a Nighthawk while stationed at Holloman Air Force Base in 1995. It was a unique experience, he said. It's probably the same feeling that a lot of our single-seat F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II pilots feel today.
It'd be great to be a pilot like that, wouldn't it?
Nighthawk retired on April 22, 2008.
So in service for a while.
Four-ship formation to Palmdale, California, where Lockheed Martin staff said their farewells. We lowered the bomb doors of each aircraft and people signed their names to the doors, Forsyth said.
That's wicked.
It was really just
I like that.
neat. They had designed it, built it, and maintained it for these 25 years, so it really hit home. The industry and Air Force partnership that made Nighthawk great. I think the 4 of us were just really struck by that and had some really good memories of that flight. The American flag was painted on the entire underside of his F-117 by the maintainers to help celebrate
so cool.
air power.
I love how patriotic the Americans are.
That this was something historic, he said. We retired an airplane that people still reference today. We really understood that, so it was a sentimental flight to say the least. It was a great weapon system, very stable and easy to fly. It's still a memorable experience. The Nighthawk was officially retired in a ceremony in August 2008 after 25 years of operational service. Why? Because of the entry into service of the F-22 Raptor, a stealth
beautiful
fighter
machine.
that really is a fighter and can also carry weapons for ground attack. The Nighthawk's radar cross-section is generally given as 0.001 cubic meters, excellent compared to the 5 to 10 cubic meters of a conventional jet fighter. Nonetheless, the Raptor's cross-section is believed to be 10 times better at 0.0001 meters squared. Given the continual improvements made to both low and high bandwidth radars in order to counter stealth fighters, minimizing the cross-section is vital. The Raptor is nearly 3 times as fast as the F-117, is highly maneuverable thanks to its vector thrust engines, and can carry both air-to-air and air-to-ground munitions.
Carry a lot of different munitions.
The Raptor also has an active electronically scanned array, ASA radar, that can be used while keeping the fighter relatively stealthy. Moreover, the Raptor is less expensive to operate than the Nighthawk, which required more extensive repainting with radar-absorbent coatings. Thus, the F-117 was retired 3 years early to free up money to purchase additional Raptors,
Makes
of which
sense.
only around 120 are in operational units. Other stealth aircraft in service include the F-35, a cheaper and less high-performing multi-role fighter than the Raptor that nonetheless boasts superior data links and electronic warfare capabilities. For ground attack carrying heavier bomb loads, there's the B-2 Spirit and the new B-21 Raider. At first, the F-117s were placed in climate-controlled hangars in a condition to be reactivated if needed. A few were even spotted in 2014 flying on test missions. For several decades, the F-117 offered the United States military a unique ability to slip through enemy air defenses and take out high-value targets with its precision-guided bombs. However, the Nighthawk's first-generation stealth technology limited the roles it could fulfill, and decades of advancement have pushed the envelope further in what stealth technology can achieve. The Nighthawk, nonetheless, was the first step in a revolutionary development in modern aerial warfare and paved the way for the more capable aircraft that will rule the skies of tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like the father, isn't it? The godfather of stealth planes. That's what this is. Yeah, it's literally the godfather of stealth planes. But what you got to realise, designed first prototypes 1977, 83 in service, kept secret for 5 years. A really good plane, but obviously designed pen, paper, calculator, and just your brains before any sort of crazy computers come out. And then how fast has technology gone over the 100 years, and especially in that last 20 years, that 25 years it was in service. So it's $111 million per unit, per plane. So they want to keep it in service for as long as possible, but it's costing them a lot of money, and they've spent a lot of money on it. F-22 Raptor comes in, so they do bring that in 3 years early, but they obviously would have tried to keep that in service for as long as possible. You want to get your money's worth. I know the Americans have a large budget, but they don't want to waste money. So, but all that technology from today sort of come from then, and then technology has moved on so quick with computers that every other sort of weapon system aircraft has sort of just developed so quickly from then on that it had to change. And that's why they're talking about the F-22 staying in service till 2060, because it was designed at a time where you could have curved wings, curved body. It's got much better computer systems inside, can hold a lot more different sort of munitions in the munitions bay. So yeah, really cool to see. I always think it's crazy when I watch these sort of videos when these things were designed, because when I think of like the 70s, 80s, you just don't think of the technology that was actually around then. You think it was way back and further behind than what it actually was. It was a lot more advanced than we all think. So really interesting to see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed learning about the F-117 Nighthawk, even though it wasn't a fighter, but it had an F name. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, and I'll see you soon.